Good morning, teachers. My name is Shannon, and Miss Smith has been weighing the benefits of blended learning, specifically the flipped classroom, and she has asked us to compose this presentation introducing you to the flipped classroom. Throughout this video, we will introduce the concept of flipped learning and how it can be implemented in your classrooms. We will provide you with the benefits of flipped learning, academic findings, as well as some challenges we may face while introducing flipped learning into our classrooms. Some of you may already know what flipped learning is, but for many of you, it may be a new concept. First, let's differentiate between blended learning and flipped learning. Blended learning involves both online and face-to-face instruction. They work together in order to provide a comprehensive learning experience. An example would be giving students an online group project on a subject they are currently discussing, whereas flipped learning is a bit more specific. In the flipped classroom, there is a clear divide between technology and face-to-face elements of the learning experience. In the flipped classroom, we will provide students with the content that they learn on their own time. The content can include a movie, an interactive activity, or peer discussion. The goal is that by providing students the content outside of class, they will come to class prepared to actively engage in learning. If you have not noticed, this is very different from the traditional model that we see in our classrooms today. The way we teach now is more lecture style. The students listen to us for their information, and most of the class time is spent on teaching the students the material. Implementing the flipped classroom into our school will allow us to utilize class time more effectively. We, as teachers, can create a more engaging learning environment for our students. Having students access material and content outside of the classroom leaves more class time for questions, discussions, and interactions between teachers and students. According to Hoffman Miller, there are 4 basic themes that the flipped classroom centers around. 1. Flexible environment. 2. A shift in the culture of learning. 3. On intentional content. And 4. On us, the professional educators. Flexible environment refers to the students having access to a variety of material. The goal of the flipped classroom is to utilize a variety of technology and media resources to maximize student engagement and learning. A shift in the culture of teaching refers to what I mentioned before, regarding leaning away from the traditional style of teaching. As teachers, we do not want to be the main source of information. We want students to be able to access and utilize a number of different resources to obtain knowledge. The content that we give students needs to be the type of material that we encourage them to explore on their own. Some examples can be questions and answers that stimulate critical thinking or project-based learning. Last but not least is us, the educators. We must have the skills, knowledge, and abilities in order to successfully implement flipped learning into our classrooms. In order to ensure this, we have made a tutorial that will teach you how to create a movie for a flipped activity, as well as provide you with the links to websites that present flipped learning lesson plans that you may adopt into your own classrooms.
In our final slides, we're going to be discussing a few findings that students have had, as well as their instructors, when it comes to flipped learning. When interviewed, the comments that students had were very positive. They felt that it was a productive way to learn. Being able to go back and practice alongside the video was a bonus. That despite it being a video, it still felt like a real class. There was more motivation to practice because they could go back and get help on sections that they. According to the instructors, the progress made by the students was outstanding. Students tended to work harder to improve on their own. Their students paid more attention to what was being asked of them, and if they didn't understand the first time, being able to go back and watch it again was an asset. And much like the students' comments, the video provided the students to work at their own pace and their own capability.